Many of them Canada for ni omo omo ewiase afana nyina. Tie KASADE Radio Canada. So person will take KASADE Radio. You show you tunein.com so nyame hwa.
KASADE Radio. Emode.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bobby J coming to you live from KASADE Radio. Today we're going to be talking about Ghana's perceived loan agreement with China. And when we come back, we're going to delve into it. What this loan going to be used for, how we're going to get the money for that, and the whole rest of articles to follow. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
KASADE Radio.
Well, we're back again. Your host, Bobby J from KASADE Radio. Now, this evening, I'm going to give you a documentary, a special documentary on this loan agreement that we intend to do. And this is how it goes. Good evening, fellow Ghanaians. Let me crave your indulgence for a minute or two. Like I said, the name is Bobby J, your host on YYC Speaks on KASADE TV on YouTube. Born and bred in Ghana, but lived the greater part of my life in Canada. I love the country Ghana with destruction, and therefore cannot sit idle to see its demise. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana, is someone I like, respect, and admire, mostly for his resilience, tenacity, and fortitude. My good friend Stephen Lewis, the former Canadian United Nations representative, once wrote that the mark of a true loyalist is to be honest with those to whom he or she is loyal. For that reason, I'm going to be very blunt and say my opinions. I understand that Ghana, under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is contemplating borrowing $50 billion from the Chinese government for infrastructural development. I have often wondered, in my years of wondering, if our insatiable appetite for fame and wealth would ever come to an end. Is there no end to our debauchery? If you would allow me your collective permission, then I want to quantify this amount to the average viewer or listener. $50 billion with a big B is 5 followed by 10 trillion zeros. 10 zeros. This amount amortized over 100 years means that if we are even able to repay the loan, this repayment would never happen in your lifetime, and for that matter, your children's lifetime. We are sinking into a new level of depravity for which there is no escape. It is postulated that the country would repay this gargantuan loan with our untapped bauxite, and the romantics among us, like the senior minister, intone that the relationship between China and Ghana is synergistic. Pardon my naivety, but I don't see any synergy here. During Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's time, Ghana was one of the world's leading producer of cocoa. The powers that be connived and detected the price of cocoa and sell on the world market. We had no control over the price. Through a careful process of selection and omission. And history has a tendency of repeating itself through subjugation. So let's wake up. A simple interest calculation on this amount, not even the compound interest, at 0.05% per annum, means that we would have to pay $25 million each year for this loan. That translates to $2.1 million US per month just on the interest. Where would we get this money? I don't want to be an alarmist, but I won't be an apologist for reckless behavior, not for all the tea in China. I wonder if the cerebral aristocrats in Ghana's parliament have thought this whole deal through properly.
KASADE Radio.
This sort of borrowing is not my cup of tea. And therefore, if I sound this clarion call, I hope that others will listen to it. China is a country of brilliant tacticians. They don't meddle in the political or military arena of their intended targets. No. They bait them with astronomical loans over a long-term period with an ulterior motive of foreclosure if and when you default on the loan repayment agreement. They learned that from the British, who collateralized Hong Kong to them for 99 years. There is a dire need to do a proper cost-benefit analysis on this intended deal, and more importantly, a cogent risk management analysis of this bauxite industry from which the revenue for the repayment would come. Let's look at Zambia, for example. Zambia has borrowed money from China to their neck. They borrowed as if there's no tomorrow. I have here with me a list of things that, this is just a small set of it. Just look at them. That Zambia has borrowed from China. Go back and you see more. This is not all of it. This is just a small section of the borrowing Zambia has gone through. You see, Zambia cannot breathe, let alone cough, because of the debt load. They are running out of options to repay these humongous loans to China. And the Chinese, in their monumental wisdom, is threatening to take over the Kenneth Kaunda airport they built for them for the repayment. I can see the writings on the wall. They take from Ghana if we fail to pay. And let me tell you this. Zambia's borrowing doesn't even come close to what we want to borrow. So by extension of logic, if this happens to Zambia with the small amount of money borrowed, and we are going 10, 20 times bigger than that, the whole country will be for sale. So now one may ask, is Africa gradually becoming a colony of China? Stay tuned. Every Saturday from 12 to noon, we're going to bring you more controversial issues with incendiary potential, and also with an approach of finding possible solutions to them. Welcome back, viewers and listeners. You're back to KASADE Radio. Make an action with us every Saturday at noon, Calgary, Alberta time, from noon to 1 p.m. We'll bring you incendiary topics and we'll try to find solutions to them. We'll be back in a flash. I give you my love and respect, but the glory goes to God.